What's up, guys? And today is September 17th, 2022. 160 years ago today, the single bloodiest day in American history on American soil raged across the rolling farmlands and hills of Maryland near a little creek known as the Antietam. It is the 160th anniversary of the Battle of Antietam, and I thought I'd do a little something for it. It's not often I go back to the Civil War, Scourge of Wars, but I thought I might do a little something on the Battle of Antietam today, just because it is the 160th anniversary. Just a quick note for anybody that happens to be in that area or within a car's drive area of the Antietam battlefield. There is some stuff going on over the weekend. Starting on the 16th, I guess it already happened, but on the 17th, there's a lot going on that day, and there's also some stuff going on Sunday. So basically, over the whole weekend here, there's all sorts of stuff going on at the Antietam battlefield. Looks like the bulk of the important stuff starts around. Oh, well, here we go. We have the weapon firing demonstrations and stuff beginning at 11 a.m. So I assume they'll be firing off some muskets and artillery. Bring some headphones because even if they're using 6-pounders, they're loud. Bring some earplugs, and then some, I guess, guided battlefield hikes around the battlefield at the cornfield, the West Woods, the Sunken Road, the Rohrbach Bridge, or the Burnside Bridge as it's known now, and some other stuff later on. It looks like some of this stuff on Sunday is just repeated stuff that is happening on Saturday. So either on Saturday or Sunday, if you're in the area, there's some stuff going on at the Antietam battlefield, and you can see a little map here. I guess the visitor center is under construction. They have, I guess, a temporary one kind of back behind the Dunker Church Ridge here, where Lee had his artillery set up, kind of to the west of the Sunken Road area. Yeah, just I thought I'd mention it in case anybody is into that kind of thing, and if you're near the Antietam battlefield, there's stuff going on for the 160th anniversary. But I thought I'd do a little trip back in time to Scourge of War, Gettysburg, Scourge of War, Antietam, and maybe just play something from the Antietam expansion. It's been a while since again, I have this ugly cursor, guys. I'm sorry, but this PC displays in 4K, so the cursor is just enormous because I'm running the game in 1080, because it's the only way to make it look decent. Actually, this isn't a bad one to do. What is this? Until the sun goes down, C division. Oh, so this is the fight along the Sunken Road. This might be fun to do. The Confederate center along the Sunken Road has been under attack for over an hour. So this is pretty much right in the middle of the Sunken Road fight here. And I guess I play do I play a brigade? No, I'm playing Anderson's division. So Anderson's division, I think, was one of Longstreet's divisions that was originally held in reserve, along with McLaws' division. And I guess this happens, yeah, this is a little late, after the initial attack by Hooker's First Corps, and they needed to kind of reinforce the area around the Westwoods, and the Sunken Road had been hit by I guess it was the Second Corps, and yeah, D.H. Hill, I guess, was at the end of his rope, and they sent Anderson's division into the Sunken Lane to support him, and McLaws got sent to the Westwoods to reinforce that area as the 12th Corps was getting ready to hit it as well. And so yeah, that's what we're going to do, support the Confederate center here. We need 4,000 points for a major victory. The forces are coming soon, okay? I guess we don't know what brigades are we have, but we can figure that out very easily once we launch the scenario. Be nice if they updated that. It's only been, what, 10 years, guys? Northsoft, if you happen to see this, that we could use a little updating of the scenario information here. I think it's been long enough. Coming soon. So okay, why don't we do this? I'm a little rusty when it comes to the Civil War games. There is a little bit of difference as far as how you control units and so forth. I think it's the opposite button as far as how you place units. I think it's left click instead of right click like it is in Waterloo, and I think you wheel units differently and so forth. I think I do have the Bugles and Flags toolbar, which is sort of the Civil War equivalent of the Grog toolbar. So it does have a lot of the same commands. It's laid out a little bit differently, but I mean, I'm sure it'll all come back to me. So the scenario is 45 minutes long. I'm not going to make it, anything crazy. I have to go to work tomorrow. It's already kind of late. It's actually September 16th for me, guys. But by the time it goes live on YouTube, it will be September 17th. So, all right, why don't we launch this and play this? It's been a long time since I played this game. In fact, it was one of the inspirations I had for my own YouTube channel was I guess about 10 years ago, the Historical Gamer did something similar for the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Chancellorsville. And what he did was that was a kind of a 3-day long battle, I guess, May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd, and on each day he covered a certain aspect of that day, so like on May 1st he did a Confederate brigade scenario, and I think on the 2nd he played with the 11th Corps that got hit with Jackson's flank attack, and then I think he did maybe a Confederate brigade scenario on the 3rd, covering some of the final action and so forth. And that was kind of an inspiration for me because it was very well done in the way he coupled the significance of the day. He did it on the actual days with, the Historical Gamer just has sublime historical narrative. And even though my videos never really focused on historical narrative, I was much more technical as far as the game itself. I was inspired by those videos. The Civil War resonates with me in a way that Waterloo doesn't necessarily resonate with me on a historical narrative level. Waterloo won me over with its gameplay, right? With the way the mechanics of the game work, the way combined arms works, but I don't have a connection to Waterloo in a narrative way, the way I do the Civil War. I grew up on the Civil War, going all the way back to when I was a kid, and my dad introduced me to wargaming with big SPI games like Terrible Swift Sword and A Gleam of Bayonets. And one summer we went on a road trip and we went to all the Civil War battlefields, Gettysburg, Antietam, Fredericksburg, Chancellorsville, the Wilderness, Manassas, Spotsylvania. We really hit them all. And so I have much more of a history with the American Civil War than I do with... I'm only just beginning to get into Napoleonics, really, if the truth be told. What I know is largely centered around the 100 Days campaign because, that's what Scourge of War Waterloo covers. But this is kind of really going back to the core of what got me into wargaming is the Civil War. So enough babbling. Let's launch it and see what we got here. So, okay, we are commanding Anderson's division here. Just going to pause the game temporarily here, just while I have a look around. Okay, I do not control the camera with the mouse wheel. Okay, it's right-click controls the camera. So we can see here's an objective right here, and we can see that this looks like most of D.H. Hill's formations out in the sunken lane here. And even though these graphics are kind of dated, I mean, this really does illustrate what the sunken road looks like. And I know because, you know, I've been here. You know, a lot of these fences, while not all beaten up and knocked around, and so a lot of these fences are still here. There's an observation tower kind of right here that you can climb up to and kind of overlook the battlefield, and you can see the kind of rolling off of this area here where the Second Corps attacked. It doesn't so much show it on this map here, but if you're up in the observation tower, you can see that, you know, past this area here, the hills really kind of drop off. So a lot of these units marching up in the rear here cannot see what's going on in the front. And it's not really until you come over this fence here and get into this kind of area that you can really see that the Confederates are entrenched along a sunken lane here. So to some degree, the Second Corps did not really know at first what it was they were kind of walking up against. So real quickly, I just want to see what our okay. So I can still pan with the I can still scroll with the screen edge here, and then right-click is pan. So I just want to use the order of battle real quick and just see what we've got. So we have looks like off to the rear here we do have Wilcox's brigade, so we'll have to bring them up. Not many men in that brigade. We also have Featherston's brigade, who are kind of northwest of the sunken road here. We'll need to bring them in. We have Armistead's brigade. Oh, we do not have Armistead's brigade. They're part of the division, but now that I think about it, I think historically they were not sent to the sunken lane. I think they were sent off to the West Woods over in this area. So we may not have control of them. Pryor's brigade and Wright's brigade appears to be in the sunken lane already. So we'll start off with them. So here's Wright, and these are all the troops in his command right here. And we'll just kind of move them forward to the position they're in and bring some of these other... We'll hope basically that the brigades of D.H. Hill can hold long enough for us to bring up some of our support here. Here's Pryor's brigade. They are the closest. So that's what we'll aim to do here. So let's click back on our division commander, Anderson here. We will unpause the game and TC all our subordinates here. Okay, so we need to march ourselves over here. And yeah, we do not have control of a lot of these, so we're just going to advance a lot of our troops here to kind of see if we can get them right up to the sunken road breastworks here. And maybe we'll take these guys and put them kind of facing the flank. Or, well, there's not really anything on the flank, so we'll bring them up for now. Okay, so let's bring Pryor's brigade up here, or Anderson's Pryor's brigade, yeah. And we'll bring him up, and we'll bring him up on the left side of the attack here. So let's un-TC him, and oh, here are our orders. General Anderson, your division is a welcome sight, sir. Things are not looking good. D.H. Hill's division is being hit hard by superior numbers in the sunken road to your front. To make matters worse, a large enemy force has been spotted moving this way from the northeast. We must not allow our center to be broken. Armistead's brigade is attached near the Westwoods and is unavailable. Okay, so that's why we do not have control of Armistead's brigade, and that is from Major General James Longstreet, commanding the 1st Corps of the Army of Northern Virginia. And you can see it is September 17th, 1862, 160 years ago today. So let's do this now. So we're gonna bring Pryor forward here, and we will put him in line. And well, we can do a little better than that. It's very tough to see the arrows in this game. Update. Okay, that looks better. So we'll bring Pryor up, and then as the Confederates get run out of this area, we'll kind of fill in with Pryor's brigade. So here they come. And that's Daniel Hill. Here's another one of our brigades, right? Featherston's. Okay, and we'll bring them up. And we don't know what we're going to do with them yet, so let's just bring them up in line, and we will put them kind of right by the victory point and siphon them off as needed. And I think we had another brigade, a rather small one. Yes, Cummings. We'll bring Cummings and we'll put him out in reserve kind of in this area because I don't know exactly if we're going to get hit on the right like historically happened, but we'll bring this force up here just in case. And no, that's a little unwieldy. So why don't we just use, do we have column by division? What do we have? Double line maybe? Okay, double line's a little better. We'll use double line. Okay. So, alright, we currently are holding the objective here. And, we've got 205 points from it already. And here is Pryor's brigade, and as this position gets weakened here, we'll just kind of start to funnel troops in to this position here. And we have a little lock on this area here. How are you guys doing? I think we can we use the 3 key here? Does that work? No, that is a Waterloo command. Okay, so we got to manually kind of advance these guys up a little bit and get them to take control of the breastworks. How about these guys? No, they're not ours. Okay, so this is where we are. Breastworks. Breastworks. These guys are in the open. Let's see if we can get them onto some breastworks. You guys have breastworks? There may not be breastworks over here. That may be it. So, alright. Why don't we temporarily take these guys and put them in the sunken road? They probably won't be able to shoot, but they'll be safe and we can use them to reinforce any of these units that get charged. So, Pryor is just about done forming up here. And, well, why don't we start sending some units in here? See if we can get these guys onto some breastworks in here. This area is, yeah, starting to fall apart here. That's not us. They're just withdrawing a little bit. So, can we get onto some breastworks here? And breastworks. Okay, so we got one run regiment here, the 3rd Virginia, and they are in position to start shooting. They've already taken about 20 casualties. Boy, the range of the rifle musket, they're hitting even back here. So, let's take these guys and just lie them down in the cornfield, or the field here, and try and protect them from getting hit. Might as well do the same with these guys and these guys. And, did we have a gun battery? back here? This guy? Okay, so he's with us. Not him. And, okay, here's our 3 batteries here. That's, Featherston's brigade. We're bringing them up in reserve behind Pryor's brigade. There they are. What can I do with this gun battery? I can't really use artillery like I do in Waterloo. You can't get them that close. So why don't we just bring them up right here? And place them in line. It's only 3 guns. I don't know how much good they're going to do, but they will at least be able to bomb at anything that approaches the sunken road here. But, you know, the range of the rifled musket just makes it so that it's really tough to get artillery into that deadly canister range, which I think is still just 200 yards even in this game. So the rifle musket is just very, very powerful. It really changes the tactics. So we may get meleeed off our breastworks here. Ooh, that is my supply wagon. So, get out of here, boys. Double quick. Double quick, yes. Get the supply wagon out of here. You can see, alright, we've repulsed them. We have repulsed them. No, boys. Get back where you were. Don't go moving off. Yeah. Even under TC, units have a tendency to wander a little bit in this game. So, okay. We're managing to hold it together here. It looks like Anderson's brigade of D.H. Hill's division has fallen back here, but they're just regrouping. Let's get some of our boys out in the sunken road now. So here's Pryor. As there's a big gap in the sunken lane now. And march, boys. Units are advancing. Wheel these guys. They are again on the breastworks. No, no, boys. Right here. Oh, it's so hard to find the right position for this. Alright, that'll do. Alright, so, on the breastworks, on the breastworks, and on the breastworks. Alright, so now we got some men in position to start shooting here. This side of the line has not really been pressed, but let's take this regiment here and put them over here. You can double quick. You're pretty rested. So I think that's pretty much all of Pryor's brigade at this point. None of these. Okay, this is another one of ours. And let's put them in reserve over here. And we'll take Pryor, put him up in the sunken road here. Here comes some more Union troops. And I have a feeling we are going to get run off here. Hopefully this artillery is coming up. It can start to soften them up. We do have some troops backing us up here, so if we get run off, we can pull back and let them handle it for a while. We only have 185 men, so if we get meleeed, it is almost certain that we are going to get run off. Alright, let's see what happens here. They are closing. Well, it looks like a second Confederate unit is... They are indeed meleeing us. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, we're getting killed. But they broke. So, we didn't actually take that many losses. But let's wheel back here. And, alright, boys. Keep firing. And I actually think I want to take these guys and bring them over here again. So, alright, we have some guns unlimbering here. Boy, that seems to take a lot longer than it does in Waterloo. And we got our boys behind the breastworks again, firing at all the Union troops out here. And here are, again, some men of Hill's Division, Anderson's Brigade. They are kind of back and forth. This is our... We're going to send these guys over here just as a reserve in case this unit gets pushed back. If these Confederates here counterattack, then we can reclaim this position. And you can see the Union, the Federal troops here are spreading out, and I think we're going to take one line here and put them up on the breastworks here, just in case we get outflanked. They are indeed kind of trying to move around the right of the sunken road, which did happen historically, and that was when the bodies began to pile up in the sunken road. So we've managed to, I guess, catch them with this unit into engaging with us. Have we? No, they're just sitting out there, giving us time to mount a defense here. They're really starting to stack up on the left flank here, too. And over here we have Colquitt's Brigade of Hill's Division, not under our control, but they're getting creamed out here too. Well, some of them are doing all right. It is a slugfest out here in the sunken road here. So, all right, we're starting to pick up some points here again with Pryor's 3rd Virginia here, and we're getting some reinforcements out here, and these guys we're just going to turn and kind of keep them in reserve behind this unit here. There is a big blue wave out here, and we're doing good with these troops in the sunken road here. The breastworks, of course, offer a lot of protection, so we're not taking a lot of casualties. The big fear, of course, is that if we get meleeed, none of our regiments are any kind of real good size for melee. You know, we got 65 men here. You know, we'll do okay in a firefight because we're behind the breastworks in the sunken road here. But we are not much of a threat to these units that want to melee us. And again, I cannot get on these breastworks here. I don't think there are any, so I'm just going to try and get into the sunken road here. And hopefully that will count. And we are on a fence here, so that's something. And you can see that there are a lot of troops moving out here. So let's commit some more reserves here under Wilcox's brigade here. We have the 8th Alabama. We do have 2 more lines back here. We'll bring them up as well. I don't think we have any other reserves. Well, we do have Featherston's brigade. So, again, we are still on the breastworks here, but we're firing into this unit's flank. So if we can make them break, we'll reassume our position over here. And how many points do we need? 4,000, I think? We're at 1750. So we can see some federal troops advancing, and a whole brigade coming down here on our right flank. So we are probably going to have to reinforce that. Let's send another regiment over here just as a reserve. How are we doing here? All right, we're doing okay. These guys are getting ready to pull back and firing into their flank. We're also getting flank fired here by this regiment. We're eating some flank fire. But it doesn't say getting flanked, so maybe we're not. Maybe we're not being targeted. It could be that we're down in the sunken road and these guys are actually targeting these guys. How are our guns doing? So no casualties yet. They've scored 62 hits on the enemy. So this does appear to be a good spot. And we'll just have to keep a lookout to see if we start taking casualties, because I am not used to the rifle musket anymore, and the fact that it has a range of like 300, 400 yards. So you really have to be careful about how close to the front you bring artillery in the Civil War. Versus, you know, Waterloo, as long as you screen them with skirmishers, you can pretty much bring them right up there. Those guys aren't there. I'm always greedy looking for more troops. So we are right up in front of it here. We got a federal unit here that is 60 yards away with rifled muskets. This is brutal stuff here. Let's go down and take a look at this and get an eagle-eye view of this here. And oh yeah, here are our men shooting it out with those dastardly federals, holding on to the sunken road here. More of our men here. God, what hell this must have been. Cannon shots bursting overhead. You can see just how deep this sunken road was here. It was a really good, ready-made rifle pit. And you can see that see if we can get onto these breastworks here. Hopefully this counts as a fence or something. And they are continuing to wrap around our flank here. Let's send another regiment off over here. Amazing. I'm gonna run out of troops here. Alright, so guys are pooped, so I can't double click them. Where are you guys going? Uh-oh. Yeah, I want you guys back behind the breastworks, dummies. And, well, our artillery is really racking up points here, bombing away on these units out front. They're doing well. Turned out to be a good spot for them. These guys are just wearing themselves out trying to get to where I want them to get to. And, yes, we are considered to be on a fence here. And, boy, they just keep stretching units ever further out onto our flank here. I'm going to commit the last of our reserves here to just put over here in case one of these units gets meleeed. And I have to have something between us and them. We do still have Pryor's brigade over here, but I'm hesitant to move them off the VP because then I don't know if I'll have enough men to hold it. But what I will do is shift this, the 19th Mississippi, and just kind of walk them over here to this side of things so that they're closer to the right flank. And because we're using up Wilcox's brigade in a hurry here. Let's bring Wilcox himself over here. Let's just offer the commander bonus to some of these units. Boy, oh boy, they're really stacking up on our right flank there. It seems like the last of it, though. Hopefully they cannot go any further out. So it looks like the 3rd Virginia here is going to get a little bit of an opportunity to rest. And we'll let our artillery do some of the work here. Keep firing, boys. I don't have any of these batteries, do I? Oh, well, here's Longstreet. Yeah, I am fresh out of troops, I think, here. Yeah. Anybody back here I can have? Stevens. Yeah, it's not much back here. Yeah. Any artillery batteries for me? No, nobody I can control. Alright, yeah, I've basically got all our troops committed at this point. I have a very small reserve. But our boys are holding out well in the sunken lane here. They're doing excellent. We have nearly 3,000 points, so we're holding on. We have a lot of guys on the fence here. These guys are doing well. These guys are doing well. What does this mean? A target is blocked. It means I guess we can't hit these guys because these guys are right here. Maybe if I rotate them a little bit. There we go. That removes the block. Now they can hit these guys. And Featherston's brigade, well, you guys are doing about even. So let's fall back with these guys a little bit. They're not in the sunken road. So what I'll do is just wait until I see them fall back in the sunken road, and then I'll halt them. Because they're about even in casualties, because they don't really have a defensive terrain bonus. Alright, so we have 2 reserve regiments here. Lie down, boys, just to stay out of action for now. These guys are still in the open. We need to get them back into the sunken road. So we've driven off a lot of the federal force at the front here. So these guys will get a well-deserved chance to just chill and rest and get some of their fatigue back. And now we are in the sunken road. Halt. Right there. And just hang right there, boys. These guys are targeting these guys out here. Yeah, you guys stay right there. These guys are doing pretty good. So all our regiments are doing okay because these guys are all out in the open while we're really paying attention to the defensive terrain benefits here. Because without them, we wouldn't stand much of a chance in a firefight. If it just comes to the number of units, the number of men in our units compared to the number of men in federal units, we're no match for them on a unit level here. Alright. So we're doing good. We're driving some of these forces back here. Not bad, not bad, not bad. These guys are exhausted. If they get meleeed one more time, we'll let them fall back and replace them with this unit we have in reserve here. You guys should actually lie down. How's our guns doing? 123 points. The action is starting to fall away from the guns a little bit, but I'm very itchy about, or sketchy about moving them further forward. Just like I said, the range of the rifle musket just changes the nature of the game here. Alright, so we've driven this unit back, and now these guys will get a chance to rest. Where do you guys think you're going? It looks like they just shifted position ever so slightly. Doing pretty good with over here. So again, this is now there's a big federal force stacking up on our left here. We do have a lot of sort of NPC rebel units here. These guys are just withdrawing. They are they're not routed, but we do, yeah, sort of units that we're not controlling, but the Federals are really stacking up on our left here. This is really the only unit that we have engaged, the 3rd Virginia here, Pryor's Brigade. We do have one, the 5th Florida, in reserve in case we need to replace these guys. These guys are good, they're high, they're well rested, so they'll be our replacement unit if this unit gets driven back. These guys here have done well. They held up well because they were in the sunken road and up against breastworks, and they've done quite well for themselves, and they're all just kind of resting. And okay, things have kind of petered out on the right flank here, but it looks like they're marching out. They may be trying to take this unit and come out again. We'll have to see. And we have 3,400 points here. I think we need 4,000 for a major victory. So now we can see some gutsy Confederates here have advanced out of the sunken road and are trying to push the Federal troops on our left flank back a little bit. And they've come out here too, so they're kind of protecting. They're kind of moving off to the left here and kind of protecting us over here. Our guns continue to earn some points. That's a pretty high score for a 3-gun battery here. What kind of guns are these? Wow, they're 3-inch guns. So small guns, so they've done pretty good. What are these guys? 10-pound. Oh, here we go. We got 10-pounders. Yeah. All right. So we do have this gun is kind of small, but we do have some 10-pounders here. Some more of Anderson's brigade here. So closing in on our major victory score here. And again, the Federals are starting to press on the right flank here. We're in pretty good shape over here. These guys are starting to get a little tired. But we're in good defensive terrain. We overlap their left by quite a bit here. And we have these 2 regiments in reserve that are very fresh. So I think we're in pretty good standing over here. And we still have a little bit of reserve force that I'm really just using as objective holders right now. So the situation has stabilized here. The Yankees never really approached and tried to charge us out of these positions, thankfully. They did melee this unit, but broke off the attack before they could really finish us off. And they certainly were getting the best of this unit. We were losing, but they broke off the attack before they could really drive us off. And our guns continue to rack up some points here. Here's our supply wagon. Why don't we TC them and just do a little supply wagon run? Just walk them down the line here and kind of refill everybody. Hopefully it works the same as it does in Waterloo. Yeah, we're getting a little... we still got 20 rounds. This guy's got 30 rounds. 18. So, we're by no means out of ammo or anything. It's so weird using right-click to move the camera. It really feels weird to me now. I did mention, too, on the Norbsoft forums that... when they were talking about possibly combining these games under a universal engine, that one of the things I would love to see is the movement system from Waterloo brought over to the Civil War games in terms of, you know, controlling the camera with the mouse wheel and placing units with right-click instead of left-click. One of the things that you tend to do is when you try to left-click on units in the Civil War, if you hit it like one too many times, you can end up moving them forward. Because the same button you use to select a unit is the same button you use to move it. And that never happens in Waterloo. So I think the Waterloo movement system is far superior. And I would love to see it ported over to... It would do a lot for my muscle memory in terms of going back and forth between games. Just that alone. If we could, you know, have the movement system from Waterloo sort of made uniform with the movement system from the Civil War games. Also, you know, you cannot click units, hold the button, and orient facing. You have to just place and then use the wheel button in the Civil War games. And in Waterloo, of course, you can just hold the button and spin the arrow with the while you're holding the button. So in just about every way, I think the Waterloo system is indeed superior, and would love to see it ported over to these games. If that were to happen, just for, you know, I'm much more likely to go back and forth. Is that a French flag? What? Vive la France? Why do you have a French flag? I think French were blue, white, and red. So it looks French, but it may not be. I think the French flag was blue, white, and red, not red, white, and blue. So, but it does. For a second there, I thought that was a French flag. It's like, wait a minute, you guys are in the wrong game. Which is another thing I should point out about these Civil War units. You can see a lot of them, the troop quality is just not what you find in the Napoleonic battles. You know, seasoned you would certainly find, but militia, volunteer, well, regular, that's practically guard level troops in this game. Volunteer, regular, the Rebs, I guess, do have a lot of decent troops, but if we click on some of the federal, we can't see them because of Fog of War. But there's a lot, generally speaking, there are a lot of lower level troops in the Civil War games. The Rebels were a little bit better, but you're not going to see anything like level 7, level 8 troops like you'd see in the Waterloo games, especially amongst like guard units like the Imperial Guard or the Coldstream Guard. You're not going to see that. I mean, even amongst, you know, the elite units in the game, like you know, the Iron Brigade on the Federal side, you know, they're probably level 6. Even the Stonewall Brigade is probably level 6, you know, and those would be considered, you know, elite troops of the Civil War era. They just didn't have the kind of training that the Napoleonic troops had. So generally speaking, you're going to see a lot more 3s and 4s in the Civil War games. And on the Federal side, you might even see like level 1, like conscript, you know, like just awful troops. So things are picking up on our right flank again here. But I'm pretty confident in this position. It's a good position. We're in a sunken road. We're up against fences here. And, I'm pretty confident this position will hold against anything but melees, really. Melees, our troops will probably get overrun, but it's a lot harder to bring your troops into melee range in the Civil War because you start taking musket fire from so much further out. Because you can see that we're firing at units at 160 yards away, which would have been past the maximum musket range in the Waterloo game. I don't know exactly what the rifle musket range is, but I think its maximum range is probably out there amongst 300 yards maybe. Does it say anywhere down here? Is there anything I can highlight, like in Waterloo, to see what the maximum range is? Oh, so this is here's the problem. We got 1842 muskets. They're smoothbores. That's why we're pretty much limited to 100 and. Well, even this 1861 Springfield, it's saying only has a maximum range of 160 yards, which is less than I thought it would be. I would have thought it would have been more. Yeah, 160 yards is only 10 yards more than the smoothbore musket. I have to disagree with that. I think it would have been more. Let's finish resupplying our units over here. So these guys, well, resupply, guys. Does it not work the same way as it does in Waterloo? I'm so rusty at these games, guys. Maybe you can't manually do it. Maybe you just have to kind of let the supply wagon do its thing on its own. Maybe you cannot manually resupply like you can in Waterloo. I admit to being very, very rusty when it comes to Civil War, Scourge of War. It's been a long time since I really paid attention to the mechanics. How are our guns doing? We got 200 points, so we're really battering away at probably this unit out here. And, well, we have crested 4,000 points. We are about 800 points ahead of what we need for a major victory. So I would say we have certainly won. So I've put our supply wagon back on AI control. It may be that I cannot manually control ammoing our units. It may be that the only way to do it is to actually, and it does look like the supply wagon is refilling these guys at least. We'll have to see where it goes on its own here. Or maybe you have to do it with the unit. You have to click on the unit and have them click resupply. I'm not exactly sure how it works. Is there a resupply button? Resupply. So let's TC this, halt them, and let's see what happens when I try to. Yeah, I think they have resupplied. These guys. Let's see what happens if I click on them to resupply. No, they can't. They have full ammo. What about these guys? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it works. So, alright. You guys go wherever you want. And over 200 points for this gun battery. This turned out to be a pretty good place to place them and also not have them get hit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gun battery falling off the line. Guys are pooped, huh? Well, luckily, it doesn't seem like that much is going on in their front there. I have a feeling if I just bring them up again, they'll just they will just fall back again. I'll try it. Bring them up. But I think they'll just fall back again. And, okay, now our supply wagon is making rounds. Let's see if they resupply. And we are over 5,000 points here, so I am pretty confident here that I think it was 4,000 points we needed for a major victory. And no, they're not resupplying. I just don't know how the supply wagons work. These guys are resupplied. Yeah, I just don't know how it works. Not sure. I mean, I'm kind of just going by my knowledge of the Scourge of War Waterloo series, really, but I am so rusty that a lot of the intricacies of this game I just don't remember. It's been so long. But nevertheless, we did do exceptionally well. We scored over 5,000 points. We only lost about 200 men, and we killed about 900 men of the enemy. However, they didn't really try to press us too hard. They pressed more on this side of things. You can see that the rebels are actually doing our NPCs over here under who is this? Anderson's brigade here, I guess. And up here we have Colquitt, who has done a great job of actually pushing a lot of the Federals back here. We also have Rhodes's brigade, so a lot of Hill's division here. Once we relieved them, they fell back over here, regrouped, and they have begun an offensive here and are beginning to push some of these Federal troops back, leaving us with not much in front of us. We're well entrenched here, so a lot of these guys back here would do, you know, this is dangerous ground to cover here. Supply wagon? See, now these guys, it looks like they have resupplied, so I don't know. I just don't know how it works. These guys never really I mean, they're not going to run out of ammo. I will say ammo drains a lot slower in this game. Oh, so our gun that fell off looks like it has unlimbered and has decided to start firing again. I don't know why they fell back. We haven't taken any casualties, but I don't want to TC them because I want them to be able, I don't want to TC the guns because I want them to be able to just change targets and, you know, shift around whatever they need to do. I'm not a big fan of TCing artillery guns, only the battery commanders. So I don't know what time this scenario ends. I think it ends at about 11:15, so maybe we're about 2 minutes away. So I am sorry that I am a little rusty here, guys. I really did this for, you know, the fact that it's the 160th anniversary. I don't play the Scourge of War, Civil War games that much anymore, as, you know, Waterloo really kind of won me over with its combat complexity and, you know, the more intricacies of Napoleonic warfare. Here, it's just, you know, set up lines and shoot. It's you know, get the best defensive benefit you can. It's you know, it's sort of straight ahead tactically. But nevertheless, you know, it's still a fun game. If you're into the Civil War, you know, it's certainly a very fun game. You know, as I said, I am really a Civil War guy at heart. It's just that the intricacies of Napoleonic combat in the Scourge of War Waterloo series just kind of really won me over, and that's why I ended up focusing a lot on that. So nearly 1,500 points over what we need for a major victory here. So we've done really well. I think the action has really petered out here, and I think the scenario is actually about to end. And there we go, guys. We got our major victory. We scored 5,596 points. And I think this is just a generic newspaper. Well, not generic. It does say the Battle of Antietam. Uh, so there we go, guys. Some action around the sunken lane there to commemorate the 160th anniversary of the Battle of Antietam. I do believe it still is the bloodiest single day in American history on American soil. I think overall, I think things like D-Day, probably would have had more casualties in it. But that was not on American soil. I think Antietam is still the single bloodiest day in American history on American soil. I think 9/11 came close, but didn't quite eclipse Antietam as far as number of people killed. But it was close. It's either second or maybe it's third behind Pearl Harbor, but it's up there. It was a very bloody day as well, 9/11. But I believe Antietam is still the single bloodiest day in American history on American soil. So it is the 160th anniversary of that battle today. And I just wanted to do a little something to kind of commemorate it. It's one of the earliest Civil War battles that I became fascinated with. Seeing the Matthew Brady photographs of the sunken lane and the Dunker Church area on the Ken Burns documentary, the Civil War back in the early 90s when I was a kid, and then actually going to those places and actually, standing in the sunken road, and, Antietam is one of the most well-preserved battlefields of all the Civil War battlefields, really. A lot of them have been, kind of encroached on by modern civilization, and so they're not as well-preserved. But Gettysburg and Antietam are among some of the best as far as what has been preserved. So if you go to Antietam, and you go to the West Woods, go to the Dunker Church, go to the East Woods, at the sunken lane, the Burnside Bridge, all of those things are still intact. The sunken lane still looks today, largely like what it looked like 160 years ago, and it really gives you, kind of a vivid look at history preserved. So if it's in your means to ever make it to any of those battlefields like Gettysburg or Antietam, some of the more off the beaten path ones like certainly Chancellorsville and the Wilderness, because they're it's not so much that they wouldn't be encroached upon if they could be, but they're so deep in the Wilderness, which is a very heavily wooded area in Virginia, that civilization has, even now 160 years later, not had much of a chance to encroach on that area. So Chancellorsville and the Wilderness are still largely intact, as is things like Spotsylvania Courthouse. Fredericksburg, the town, has kind of moved westwards a lot, so some of the areas near like Marie's Heights and so forth have been encroached upon, but some of the more further back areas like Lee's Hill and some of the Confederate positions, Fredericksburg, have been pretty well preserved. It really depends on the battlefield. I have not been there myself. It's too far west for me. I'm on the East Coast, but I've heard Shiloh is pretty well preserved. Maybe Murfreesboro, I've heard, is not bad. There are a lot of great Civil War battlefields that are still pretty well preserved, but Antietam is among one of the best if you could ever get to it. All the important spots on the battlefield are very well preserved. It's under the the jurisdiction of the National Park Service, I think, and Antietam is one of the more important battlefields. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to do a little something for the 160th anniversary, and there it goes. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. So let's get out of this. And we'll resign from the game. And I think that will do it, guys. I will see you guys next time, and I'll have to think of something else to do. Take it easy, guys.